Well, hello, my fellow Flesh and Blood players, and is that you, my fellow Magic the Gathering players? Man, it's been a little while. Yeah, no, I haven't really been touching Magic at all to be lately, to be honest, because I've been playing Flesh and Blood, man. Have you tried this game? This game is fantastic. I'm like all in at this point. This game is great. I've been having so much fun with it, man. You've heard that it's evil investors, eh? Like you don't think it's worth playing? No? Have you ever tried it? You've never tried it. You just heard online that it's nobody plays this game. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of an intro to this game. Okay, I want to tell you 3 reasons why you need to be playing Flesh and Blood. If you're a Magic player, you really got to give this game a go. If you can get some packs, supply for the new set is hard to come by. I will admit that. I'm not gonna deny that. But it's because the game has seen such a huge boom. Because the game is amazing. So if you can find some product, please get your hands on some. Please give this game a go. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why. The first one, well, this game is just really fun. I don't really know anything else that I could use to convince you on this one. Because when you're playing a game, having fun is the big important part, right? Like, you want to have fun. You want to enjoy what you're doing. And honestly, Flesh and Blood is so much fun. I haven't had this much fun in a game for quite a while. It is very intuitive gameplay. There's no mana screw with a pitch system. Okay, I'm not going to go all in on the mechanics of the game. You can find videos that will eloquently and properly explain that and teach you how to play the game. The professor made his wonderful video. There's a few others out there. There's some other Flesh and Blood content creators that have made videos of this nature, and that is not going to come from me. I just want to have a conversation. So, the gameplay is just fun though. It is so much fun to be trading blows and hits and to have to sit there and plan your hand based around not just the effects of the cards in your hand, but how much resources those cards give you, and you know which ones you're willing to give up, and then you got to plan for your opponent's attacking and you defending, and then having to strategize from there on. You know, you got to plan with your equipment, you got to pay attention to your weapon, you got to there's just so much to process, and it is a lot at the start. But once you learn the flow of the game, this gets a lot easier, and quite frankly, it's fun. It's constant thinking on every level. Unless you big dumb mungo head like me and you play Guardian. That's just big me smash. I have a Spinal Crush in my hand, I have a Crippling Crush in my hand, and 3 blue pitch. I think I know what I'm going to be doing with that hand. That's pretty basic. So you do have those scenarios still, but for the most part, Flesh and Blood is very strategic, and it removes a lot of the luck. The draw mechanics at the end of the turn, you are limited to 4 cards, and you draw up, but you don't really have any ways to get extra draw in a turn. So quite honestly, this game never feels like one player is like way overpowering the other, and there's no sense of like complete screw. Like it really boils down to your ability to play. Like you can still draw bad hands, you can still have some bad luck. It's a card game. There's always going to be some form of luck. But Flesh and Blood has done a really good job of limiting that. And so it really lets skill and clever gameplay shine. So if that's something that appeals to you, which it does to me, that's a huge reason to play this. This game is just fun. And again, you don't have to be competitive. Because, quite frankly, there's multiple formats. And that's my second point. Multiple formats. Most importantly, the key one, there is a multiplayer format. Now, if you're like me, you're a Commander player or EDH player, whatever you want to call it. I've been playing Commander EDH for about 10 years, and that was my thing for the longest time. With Flesh and Blood, I want to do Ultimate Pit Fight. I am planning on making some sub-super, which is like the rarity, so sub, super rare, everything, rares and commons, some Blitz or Ultimate Pit Fight decks, doing deck techs just to kind of help people get into the format, to build really cheap versions of decks to start, and the fact that there are multiple formats. There's Constructed, which is your 60 card, generic format. That's the main format. You have the baby brother of that. You got Blitz, which is honestly one of the more probably the most popular format. Blitz is just fun. It's your 40 card, young hero, quick, fast gameplay. It's the best one for learning. It's the best intro format, at least, and I think that's why it's the most popular. So many players are new. And then you've got Ultimate Pit Fight, which is your multiplayer format. And for me, that was the big draw, a multiplayer format. My friends and I, we have tried to play other games. We played Pokemon, we do Yu-Gi-Oh, we tried Force of Will, and Force of Will worked, but that game kind of crumbled under for a while, and I haven't touched it in years since then, because it's just become so hard to find singles of, and it's like, well, I don't want to just crack packs, I like to buy singles too. Anyways, so the thing about a lot of these games, though, like with Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, you have to bend some rules to do 3 or 4 player. 4 player for Pokemon, at least, you can do teams, so you just basically do double battles. It kind of works for the most part. It is fun, but 3 players, you got to have 2 active Pokemon, and we've decided, and you can only attack each side. It's a mess. It's a mess. And Flesh and Blood, though, having multiplayer available and like it just works with the game from the get-go. Oh my good God, I love that so much. Okay, I cannot tell you how much I am happy, so happy that there's just a multiplayer format. Does it have the same feel as EDH? No, it's not the exact same, okay? There's a bit more politics, there's a bit more like building up a field and threat assessment in Commander, whereas this game has more just you're attacking people, and usually so far it's come down to mostly who's got the most life total for who you attack. But it's still casual, it's still fun, you're still just sitting down with some friends and playing, and it's still a very, very good time. I'm having a blast playing Ultimate Pit Fight. It's still a great format. It doesn't appeal probably to the more competitive people who get into Flesh and Blood, and this is a game that appeals more to the competitive people, but I still think it's a great format, and I actually think it's a good format to help the game grow overall, because casual people are going to want to play too, and a lot of people like just hanging out with their friends, and Ultimate Pit Fight is a fantastic format for that, okay? That is a big reason to try this. It has multiplayer. Oh my goodness, is that so important to me and probably to a lot of other people, because a lot of Magic players are just Commander players. And maybe they dabble in other formats, but a lot of Magic players are just Commander players. And let's be real, like me, a lot of Magic players are kind of looking for something else to play because of how Magic is being handled right now. And that kind of gets us into the final point. My final point is just simply Legend Stories Studios and James White. Okay, you have the company and the maker of the game. I can't tell you how nice it is to enter a game in a community that loves the company and the creator behind it. Okay? Magic, everybody loves Richard Garfield. We love the creator behind it. But the company, well, the company unfortunately has gotten too big, has gotten too corporate, and it has gotten to the point where it is now a mindless machine that is broken, that is not functioning, and is ruining the greatest game in the world. And so people, that's why people are leaving. And Legend Story Studio is filling that role in so many ways. My personal favorite way they're doing that is the local game stores. Okay, Legend Story Studios supports the local game stores. They will give you prize support. They will send you welcome decks. They will give you the things you need to get people into the game. They will support you having events with, again, prize support and cold foils and just everything. They want local game stores to thrive, or at least remain open and active. That's actually the namesake, or at least that's what I've been told, is that the namesake of Flesh and Blood isn't just about the fighting. It's playing a game in the Flesh and Blood. It's sitting there with the physical cards. They don't want to do digital. They want physical cards, because this game is less about money to the creator and the company behind it, the team behind it, and it's so much more about just creating an amazing game. And I can't tell you how refreshing and how nice it is to see and just enjoy it, okay? I'm over the moon. I'm just getting happy thinking about it, because Magic is being handled so poorly and so callously, right? The company, Wizards of the Coast, is just beating Magic to death, okay? It's already a dead horse, right? And they're just getting every little last squeeze of glue that they can out of that poor beast. And it is just awful to watch. It's awful to see the game stores that have supported the game for decades get snubbed. It's awful to see them, how they treat their customer base, how they treat their content creators. In Flesh and Blood, I'm seeing so many people get just spoiler cards, right? I came in here and there's people who have just a few hundred subscribers getting spoiler cards. And it's like, I get that Magic is so big that they're going to give it to people with more subscribers, and that's fine. But it's like, this company cares. This company, they will reach that point where they're too big to, unfortunately, they're not going to give somebody with 100 subscribers or 400 or 500 subscribers when they can give it to somebody with 40,000, But at the same time, like, they care about their customer base. They support the customer base. They support the people who support them. And I love that. That is so cool. Like when I started making content about Flesh and Blood, I didn't even really know much about that. I had just gotten in, but I was enjoying the game and was like, I like this so far. I'm going to make some content on it. But seeing how they treat the community and seeing how the community treats one another, I'm loving it. Like, it's making me just want to make videos. I didn't make a video for a couple days because I've been busy, and I just kept thinking to myself, like, I want to make more content. I want to put out more stuff. I just want to be involved. I want to speak my mind. I want to share how happy I am about this game, that it exists, that it's fun, that it's just this great atmosphere, you know? And there is a video I actually want to make about that. I want to talk about the community and kind of what I see is an inevitability as the community gets bigger. You know, it's not going to be this fantastic tight-knit group that it is right now because it's so small right now, but you will see as it expands, it's going to get a little worse. It's probably going to get somewhat toxic. All communities do. But I that's for another video. Right now, we're doing happy thoughts. So that's basically it. I'm sorry, that's pretty much it. Legend Story Studios, that is my final point. They support the local game store. They support content creators. They love their customers. They treat the game like it's something they actually love because it is something they love. They care about the game, not just the money. They're not about to start secret layers, okay? They're not about to start making, you know, they're not about to bring other IPs, okay? You're not about to see Flesh and Blood meets Squishmallows or Flesh and Blood meets Animal Crossing. That'd actually be really cool. Could you imagine, like, Tom Nook with, I don't know, some, like, bloody axe or something, like, hewing somebody's head off? Like, just Tom Nook with one of those Animal Crossing axes, and you've got, like, the villager with his head... Okay, you know what? Let's not do that. As cool as that would be, let's maybe not bring other IPs into Flesh and Blood, please. That's my one request to you, Legend Story Studios. Please don't bring other IPs into this. Anyways... I hope I convinced you. I know this is more of a rambly video, but I'm really enjoying this game. I think you should give it a go. If you're a Magic player, I think if you're feeling snubbed, if you're feeling burned out with Wizards, if you're feeling like the game is just going in a direction you don't like, which is what I did, it's just exactly how I feel, and I still feel to this day, give Flesh and Blood a try. It's so refreshing. This game is so refreshing. That's the word I can use. Refreshing. It feels good. You know, it's not without its problems. Supply issue right now, but that hopefully will be fixed, and I think it will be fixed. I think the creators care enough that they're going to fix it. But for the most part, this game is just fantastic. It's been an absolute blast. I'm happy to be here. I'm going to stick around. I hope you do too. Anyways, I'm going to let y'all go. I hope you have a good day. I mean, nobody's watching to this point, let's be real. But I hope you all had a good one. I hope you continue to have a good day. And I will see you in the next video. Where maybe, hopefully... I'm not as tired. I've been up since like 1:45 this morning. Worked a 9.5-hour day of physical labor. A little tired. Hopefully the next one I'm a bit more coherent and a little less rambly. But I will let you go now. Bye-bye.